Dots. I'm Dr. Latifat. I'm the host of the MoneyfitMD podcast. This is where we help badass women physicians just like you learn simple and effective tools to build wealth from the inside out. That way, we can create wealth and bigger impact without all the burnout. Enjoy the episode. Hey guys, welcome to another episode with Dr. Latifat. How are you doing? I hope you're doing well. For those that are joining me for the first time, I'm so glad we found each other. I am Dr. Latifat. I'm the host of this show, as well as the founder of the MoneyfitMD platform, which includes our money school where women physicians come learn about money and make moves that create wealth and freedom. So I'm super duper excited about this episode because if I'm doing my calculation right, this is the last episode that you're probably going to get from us this year. How amazing is that? Maybe I'll do a bonus one because I really feel like I need to do a reflection of this year and do that and share that with you. But right now, I don't have that recorded yet. So this may be the last episode that you get, or you may get a bonus, which is going to be talking about sort of like the year in review and taking stock really of all the amazingness that we've done in 2023, because we have done a lot. We have done a lot. And I actually think I should do a year in review. We've done I'm so grateful for all the amazing work we've done here, for all of you guys that are listening, for the reviews, for the messages on Facebook, on Instagram, for you sharing all the ways that you're learning from this platform, for you, sharing all the things that you're doing differently with your finances, the conversations you're having, the moves you're making, the investments you're making. Honestly, guys, I will be honest with you. Sometimes when you have a podcast and you're talking, you literally are talking to yourself. And it can seem like, oh, it's listening in the world. So when we get those messages and read those reviews, it really means a lot to us. So for those of you that have taken time to do that, I want to just say big thank you and give you a shout out. You guys are the real MVP. And I know there's some of you guys that are listening that have never left us a review. I would love to hear from you. Last time I checked, we had over 100 reviews. I'd like for us to get it to over 200 this year. Well, not this year, in 2024. So can you do me a favor and just take 1 second to pause for 30 seconds? 1 second to pause. Oh my goodness, that's why. Pause for 20 seconds. Just scroll down on whatever platform you're listening to this and leave us a review. And if you can type out something about what episode you like or what this has been helping you with, I would really, really appreciate that. By the way, I am recording this episode in Laos. And, for those that are new to my world, my family and I, we've been on this travel sabbatical where we've been traveling the world literally since April of this year. And it has been life-changing. I'm going to 100% do an episode for you guys early next year just to do a rebrief and really talk about how this has been one of the most powerful things ever. One thing that I've been working on in the back end is sabbatical guide, which I'm putting together for women physicians. Guys, I cannot tell you how many times I've gotten questions about a sabbatical, how to take a sabbatical. Is it possible? But I'm this specialty, but I got kids, but my kids are young. And so what I did was I literally just put together like the most frequently asked questions that I've been getting about the sabbatical, the things that helped us with planning, and I want to share that with you guys. So just be on the lookout. It's going to be available sometime in the next couple of weeks. And when it is, it's going to be in the show notes so that you can get access to it. I am on a mission to help women physicians learn money, have money, but also live life on their terms and be able to live this life of wealth. And that includes money, time, and all the things that we're doing. But I'm currently in Laos as we record this, and I'm looking outside right now. We have this river across the street, and we have all those trees, and it's just so peaceful and quaint. And even my daughter's like, I love big cities, but I'm so glad that we get to hang out here too, because it's so nice and the food is delicious and the people that we've met so far are kind. But it's also a little loud because the river across, they literally are filling a part of it with like rocks. So if I'm recording this and you hear some background, it's probably because there's a tractor that's been making noise all day long. And I'm like, you know what? Sometimes getting this stuff done imperfectly is better than getting it done never. So I'm recording this episode to you. And what I have for you guys today is going to be really, really helpful as you're thinking about 2024. So ignore whatever noise that you're hearing. it is going to be worth your attention. And by the way, if you learned anything at all from this episode, make sure you share it with those people that are around you. Share it on your socials, share it on Facebook, share it on Instagram, and tag me so I can give you a shout out too. And yes, if you're on LinkedIn, I'm also there. You can go ahead and share it and tag me. I would love to give you a shout out. Okay. So what am I talking about today? So we are looking now from 2023, looking at 2024. We literally are like 3 days or so into, between next year, 2024. And so as I was sitting down and thinking about what do I want to share with you guys, what do I believe would be one of the most impactful conversations that we could have together, especially now when you're like thinking about what you want to do, you're thinking about how you want to have a great year in 2024. So I put together a list of 6 things that I believe can help you make your 2024 the best yet when it comes to your finances. To be honest with you, I think a lot of people make mistakes and misconceptions when it comes to money, how to do money, what it takes to do money. And there are some people that assume that it's going to take like all the time in the world, right? Like it's going to take forever. It's going to be super slow. Its snail is going to be faster than my money growth. And that's a misconception that's not true because most of y'all know 7 years ago, I knew zero about money. I did not know anything about anything. And so the things that we've done when it comes to our finances, the moves that I've been able to make, being able to literally take off 6 months after we decided to and take a sabbatical, all that is happening in the last 7 years, right? And so it is 100% possible and it doesn't have to take forever. But then there's the other extreme of, the side of the other side of the extreme that think that this is something that should happen overnight. No, it does not happen overnight. And to be honest with you, even if the money happens overnight, who you are is such an important component of having money and building wealth that even if you like fall into a bag of gold overnight, if you're not the right person, the right version of yourself to be able to manage and command that money, it's going to run out just as fast as you ran into it, right? So the things that I want to talk to us about today is looking into 2024. What are some of the key things? Like if you can listen to this episode, if you can do 2 or 3 things from this episode and you commit to doing it over the next year, I promise you your finances will be really, really different from where you're coming from. And when I think about it, my thought is this. 2024, I think, is a great year for us to be positioned to have even more women physicians working towards getting their next first 7-figure, or their first 7-figure, or moving to the next zone when it comes to their multiple 6-figure net worth, when it comes to calculating their financial net worth, which is looking at your assets minus your liability, what you own versus what you owe. I want that to be multiple 7 figures for every woman physicians. And some of the things that I teach here and also the things that I teach about inside of our money school is how to make that inevitable for you. I want you to have money because I believe that money in your hands is a beautiful thing for the world. But I don't want you to just have money only. I want you to have money, but I want you to also be the person that has the mind capacity, that has the physical, mental strength to be able to manage the finances and do the things that you want to do. Okay? So what are those 6 things? I'm going to start here. And the first one I'm going to talk about is if you want 2024 to be the best year yet when it comes to your finances, you got to stop making excuses. What do I mean by that? Yes, I know that life is busy. I know that you have expenses. I know that no one has showed you how to do money. I know that work is busy. I know that all those things that, like whatever is coming up as a reason and an excuse that your brain is offering for why you cannot do the things you want to do, things you need to do, what to meet the goals that you want when it comes to your finances, those are excuses. Doesn't mean that it's not real for you. Like when I think about my life, I think about when I launched MoneyfitMD. I was busy working clinically, right? Like most of you guys, I was working really hard. And honestly, the time that I had to record this podcast was literally at night. Like after the kids are in bed, because I get back from work, I want to hang out with my kids. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to do like 1 hour after the kids are in bed. I'm going to do 2 episodes after the kids are in bed. And I would literally, once they're in bed, I'll say goodnight, go to the dining room and start recording. Like I was busy, but that was the truth. However, I also wanted to make sure that nothing stood in the way of me doing this thing that I want to do. The same thing applies to when we started investing in real estate. We were heck of busy, our kids are young, and we limit technology and TV time. Like my husband does IT, but still our kids are, they don't have like individual iPads because we're like, we don't want them to be so technology focused that they're forgetting to interact with humans and forget to fight each other. We want them to fight each other. Right? And so when we wanted to learn, it was hard because I was busy, with Cole and kids. And at that time, we had kids that were less than 5 years old. So I think my oldest may have been slightly over 5 at that point, but they were all really, really young. And so what we had to do was just on Saturday, every single Saturday, would literally find time, like 2 hours, make it their TV time while they're watching TV, while they're watching a show. That's when we're going to be learning real estate investment education. That's when we're going to be putting offers in and doing all this other stuff, right? So my point is, yes, it is true that you don't know yet. Yet it is true that life is busy. However, when you let those things stand between you and creating what you want to get, then I will call it an excuse. And to be honest with you, the question is, when do you think you're going to ever be less busy as a woman physician? Actually, when do you think you're ever going to be less busy as a human? Because to be honest with you, time is an interesting concept. Time is something that a lot of times we feel it in, right? So you may be hanging out with your BFFs, but it's not like you're sitting down doing nothing. So your time will be spent if you don't decide what you want to spend it on. So if you want 2024 to be the best year ever, I want you to literally like be aware when your brain starts to offer you reasons why you cannot do blah, 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 reasons why you cannot blah, 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 like whatever that thing is, I want you to start asking yourself that, okay, yes, this is true. However, what if I assume that this was not true? What would I do? If this was not true, that what would I do? How would I raise the finances to do this? How would I not wait for my next pay raise in order to be able to start investing? How can I learn to make my money make more money for me? I shared recently in our private Facebook group, which is a financial liberation plan workshop. That's a free Facebook group for women physicians. And if you're a woman physician, you're definitely welcome. Go find us on Facebook, join that group. And it's where I talk to my women, I share tips, I share things that I believe are helpful when it comes to having this life of financial liberation. But what I also want you to think about is the fact that, like, literally, I had a woman physician join our program within the last couple of weeks. And guys, literally within 2 weeks, she invested in her first passive income opportunity. Her clinical income did not change, right? So her clinical income was the same that it's been before, yet she's able to invest, right? Multiple women physicians like that joined our community in 2023, where some of them were like, well, I thought I didn't have money, but now I have money because now I know how to manage my money. I've changed the way that I see money, the way that I think about money, and now I'm more investment focused. So it's like magic, Latifah. I'm finding the money and being resourceful, learning where my money is going, fixing all the money leaks that I have. And now I'm able to do this where I'm able to actually have the money to invest. And I will tell you that a significant proportion of the women that joined us this year have been able to invest. And that is so, so, so amazing for me, not just because it's great, but it's evidence of the fact that like our clinical income is a part of the equation, but it's not all of the equation. So if you're not investing yet, if you're not doing the things that you think you want to do when it comes to your finances, it may not just be because you need a pay raise. However, when you learn by listening to this podcast, by reading our book, Down with Brooke, you can find it on Amazon, by joining our program, by participating in some of the stuff that we have available for you in 2024, it's going to be inevitable that your finances will grow. It's going to be inevitable that things will change. But first, we have to stop making excuses. And I'm just not just talking to you. It doesn't matter like where you are right now, whether you're just starting out, or maybe you're someone that already has like multiple 6-figure, 7-figure. Maybe you've done the retirement account stuff, and now it's time for you to start moving to something else, but you're making excuses for why you cannot learn, why there needs to be a perfect time, when in fact there never will be a perfect time. It's like pregnancy in training, or as physicians, there's never a perfect time. You decide when and you make that time perfect for yourself. That's how this works. So I'm challenging you and really calling out all the excuses that stand in between you and the place that you need to go. We need to squash that in 2024. If you do that, you will make a huge difference in your finances, okay? Number two thing is this, and this one is going to sound a little bit odd, because what I found is this: a lot of times when we're going into a new year, when we're going into a new season, many of us are like, okay, what are the things that I need to learn to add to the tools that I have so that I can create something different? And the way that I think about it, it's like we're already overflowing and stuffed with knowledge in some places, or stuffed with thoughts in some situations. And now we're like, what new thoughts do I need to add to my toolbox? When sometimes what we need to do is just like reset and really just like start from scratch. So you will find, and there are many books that talk about this. If you've read 10x is easier than 2x, that's a book that's talked about things like this as well. And one of the things it talked about is the fact that a lot of times we want to make small incremental changes, which there's nothing wrong with that. And small changes over time can definitely compound and lead to bigger differences. However, there is another option where if you want to have like big quantum shifts, if you want to make like big changes over a short period of time, then what you have to do is be ready to reset. It's like when you're watching a game, whether you're watching a soccer game and, they scored, right? What do? They bring the ball back to the center of the field and start again, right? They start playing again from the center, right? Like once they're done with like one quarter or whatever they call it, they start again from the center. Like, you guys have scored a bunch and now we're going to start in the center. Like, that's refresh because they're done with one season and now they're about to start another season. You guys get what I mean? So it's important when we're starting a new year. Yes, you can decide to make small shifts, but I want you to pretend like you're ending one quarter of a foot. And when I say football, I'm like a football game, like a basketball game or a soccer game. Yes, we call it soccer apparently in the United States. Yeah, you get what I mean, right? But like in the middle there, that's where we use restart from. So that's one thing that I'm going to challenge you guys about. Like, everything that you are today, everything that you have today, everything you've created, for good or for bad, is the result of the thoughts, the assumptions, the excuses, the skills, the knowledge, all that you already have, right? And so in order for you to be able to move to the next level, many times what got us here will not get us there. And so it's going to be really, really important for you to now start asking yourself, looking into the future, in the end of 2024, who do I want to be? What will I have created? And I now want you to now ask yourself, what thoughts would I need to practice and make my own in order to become that person? What habits, what patterns, what behavior, what courses, what skills, what communities will I need to be in order to be able to create that? Because what ends up happening is most of us use our past to limit ourselves in the future. We use our past as a reason why we cannot do the things we want to do. We're like, well, I've never done that before. I don't have that skill set. That's not for someone like me. We don't do that in my family, right? And we have all these excuses and all those things that is literally helped us create what we have right now, when in order to go to the next level, you need new thoughts. But literally, it takes being done with the old and in with the new. And by the way, y'all, I'm not telling you anything that I'm not daring myself to do or what I haven't found to be true myself. These are literally the things that will cause you to have that deep evolution, that deep transformation into the version of yourself that's investing, that's diversifying, that's living a life of freedom, that's, having the time and the capacity to build relationships that matter to her. Those are the things that's going to get you there. Okay. And then the next thing, which we're going to call that number 3, is this. It's investing first. Okay? If you think about it, traditional financial education, they've taught us that you spend your money, and then if you have money left, then you invest it. However, what this has led to is a lot of us are under investing. We're investing below the capacity that we could be. And the consequence of this is that now our money is not growing passively like it could be. You literally are not getting that stereotypical quote unquote mailbox money from your money making money for you, because the only way you've thought of, the only way you've been groomed and taught about is to exchange our time for money, which there's nothing wrong with that, right? Especially if you love what you're doing. However, in order to decrease burnout, in order to decrease overwork, it's going to be important for you to now learn how to take the money you're earning and now to plant that into trees that's now going to be amplified, so that your trees, literally your orange fruit, now planted the seed can make you an orange tree, and now the seed can now be replanted, make you an orange tree, and that is how you make your money work for yourself. However, it is hard to do that if you're paying bills and then only invest in what may or may not be left. Invest first. That's the key. We need to like change the cycle. We need to change the system. We need to flip it on its head. So if you're someone that has not been investing as much as you could, it really could be because you just need to start investing first. Invest first, and then you spend the rest. That's how we do this, okay? And when I talk about investment, y'all I've heard the things that I'm a big fan of, the things that I believe are the key to wealth. And I need to do another episode on this because I want to make sure there's no distraction when I'm telling the 3 classes that you need to invest in. And that's your mindset, that's intangible assets, and that's in giving. I believe those 3 classes are things that you should invest in. The ratio will differ based on what is in your R, and over time it will continue to change. But if you invest in those 3 things, your mindset or skills, you invest in tangible assets like stock market, businesses, real estate, like those are the main key groups, you will grow your wealth. And of course, investing, through giving as well, because I truly believe that giving is a gift that the giver gets and the receiver also gets. It's part of the law of the water. It's part of how we're meant to spend abundance. And I always believe that money does not like being choked. Money likes people that like to let it go work for them. So if you take the money and let it go work for you, let it go make money for you, it's going to bring its cousins and its BFFs and its family members and it's, all that stuff, which is going to mean you're going to have not just more money, but also more wealth in the expansive frame of the word. Okay. So that is number 3. Number 4 is I want you to commit to changing the way that you think. The way that you think, if you want to change your life, change the way you think and you change your life, right? And the thing is this, whether we realize it or not, we are changing. And that change may be happening without your permission or could happen with your permission, meaning that it's happening passively or you could decide for yourself. And the way that I think about this is, what we hear, what we feed our ears, what we feed our brains and our minds with is so powerful. Like if you sit down with a group of people and all you guys are doing is complaining, you are going to see what happens to your energy. You're going to become a complainer. A lot of your energy is going to be going towards complaining, and you literally will be investing your leftover energy into growing your life and growing your wealth and growing your impact and fulfilling the purpose that you're here for, right? So that's the impact of who you surround yourself with. However, if you surround yourself with words of wisdom, and if you listen to the podcast, you already are doing that. You're listening to words of wisdom, words of wealth building, words that build you up, words that remind you of how badass you are, how powerful you are, words that are transforming your mind even without you even knowing it, because it's feeding your subconscious. And now next time you go to the store or next time an opportunity comes, you remember what Latifah says, because now I'm in your head. I love being in your head, right? I'd rather be in your head talking to you about wealth than have you like listening to traditional financial advice that may not be made with you in mind, right? So the bottom line is I want you to start changing how you think. And the way you do that is through books and podcasts. Like Audible is your friend. Libby can get access to free books and free audibles through Libby Library. You may have to wait a couple of weeks if the books are not available, but it's a great way to supplement if you have audibles and you want to decrease how much you're spending on buying books. Libby is great. I cannot tell you how many books I've listened to or read through Libby this year, especially as we've been traveling and I'm not, holding physical books because of like how much weight they are when we're traveling. It literally will make a difference. So listening to that, books, listen to podcasts, finding interviews of people that inspire you. I will be honest with you, like I actually like hearing people being interviewed. So if you listen to my podcast right now and you're hearing me talk, it's great and all that stuff. But if you actually go on the podcast system, whatever platform, and you search for my name, you will see the places that I've been interviewed at. And the nice thing about listening to people that you listen to getting interviewed is you get to even hear more about how their brain works. And success leaves clues. One of those clues is how people's brain works. So like, for example, if I find people that I like, maybe I like your book. For example, Dan Sullivan, I cannot tell you how many of his interviews that I've listened to. There are so many people like that, like Richard Rogers. Like, there are people that I like the way that they bring things, so I go listen to the interview so I can hear how their brain is. Alex Amosi, I like his brain. I search for all the places. Like, I would listen to his podcast, but I also listen to places where he's been interviewed, right? So that's just a little tip that can help you change how you think. And you can do this as you're driving. You're listening as you drive in. You listen as you're taking walks during lunch break. Like, let's just recolonize our brains, recolonize our mind with good stuff. So books are great ways, podcasts are great ways. Self-coaching, learning how to coach yourself, is another great way. I believe that self-coaching is a tool that everybody should learn. And in fact, when you come into our community, it's one of the things that you learn how to do. I teach women physicians how I use coaching tools to solve money problems. Like, literally, if you sign up for our program today, you would, like, the first video that you watch when you come in is like me teaching you how to self-coach, because I think it is that important. I teach you how to think about your thoughts, your feelings when it comes to money, and how to use the power of your thoughts to create actions that's going to lead to results that is going to move the needle when it comes to your finances. And for those of you guys listening, if you're curious about how you can join us, you can go to our website, MoneyfitMD.com. At the very top, you see the link for the Money School. Click on it, and if it gives you like 2 payment plan option. You cannot pay directly. You have to submit. It just tells you to apply. And what that means is that you will be submitting an interest form. We'll look at it, make sure you're the right candidate, we're a good fit, and then we'll reach out to you. If you qualify, then we'll talk about it. If you have any questions, we'll address that for you and how we can help you be a part of our community. Okay, so that's how you do that. But coaching and self-coaching is a game changer when it comes to your finances. And of course, getting coaches, another way to change how you think. It's what I do. We all have blind spots. Like, I don't have one coach, I have coaches. And I already told you guys, especially, as we're going towards the end of the year, I already asked myself, what do I need to succeed in 2024? I already prepaid for coaching, right? That makes my taxes a little bit more friendly because I've invested in ahead of time, and those are deductibles because I do own a business. So if you're someone that's been thinking about, maybe you want to join us for a live event in next year, 2024, in May in Atlanta, so you can get your in-person live money brain tuned up, you can do that. Like, you can still literally do that. You can send me a message, Dr. Latifat at MoneyfitMD.com, or you can go to my website, MoneyfitMD.com. You can click on the contact over there, and you will be able to send a message. We can get you paid up so that you can join us for the in-person event next year. And you can also take advantage of that if you want to join our program. And in fact, what we've seen is, like, December was busy for many people. So some people joined us in December and prepaid in December and said, you know what, we are going to join first week in January. Can you please hold our spot? But they paid ahead of time by paying right now. And that's something that you can do. But again, we have to make sure that you qualify for our community. It's not for everybody. We don't let everybody come in. It's a special community. It's a special village for women physicians. It's supportive. It's shame-free. You get the education. You get the coaching. You get the inspiration from your peers. And we also have guests that really their goal is to help you shorten your time to creating your own rich life. So it's literally the best place that I'm glad I created, but it's also what I needed. It costs money to join us. People pay one time, it's $10,000 for a year with us, or they can pay monthly. So if you want to check it out, go to the website on there. And when I hear the things that our women physicians are doing, like, they are getting their return on their investment multiple folds. It's changing their relationships, it's changing their finances, it's changing how they show up at work. It's helping them take a sabbatical, take a break, live the life that they're living, and it's helping them have money. That stuff gets me all excited. All right. And then number 5 is this. In order for you to create the changes that you want in 2024, and if you want it to be your best money year yet, then you have to take action, even when it's scary. Yep. You got to take actions even when it feels shitty. You got to take actions even when it feels inconvenient. You have to take actions even when you don't feel like it, because I will tell you, everybody has self-doubt. Everybody talks, like, literally this episode that I'm doing right now, I was talking myself out of it. And then I realized something, which is what I teach my women physicians, is the fact that, we have our thoughts, but then ourselves, we're more powerful than our thoughts. And we can will our thoughts by not waiting for our thoughts to change, but instead taking the action so that our thoughts can catch up with us, right? So for me, I was just like, you know what? I'd committed to this. I want to make sure I record this to you guys because I know y'all are waiting and you want to have the best 2024 yet. So I'm not going to wait to be inspired to record this. I'm just going to like move my legs, move my body, and walk in front of my computer and put my earphones or whatever it is called on and start recording. And that's what it takes. So don't wait to be motivated. Don't wait to be inspired. Sometimes those things, they catch up. They're waiting for you, your badass self, to lead them. So go do the things you want to do. But action taken is what creates wealth. It's not just knowledge. Knowledge plus action. That's what it takes to create the things you want to create, the money you want to create, the moves you want to make. It takes action. It takes action. It takes action. And that's why, like, when I think about the things we provide for women physicians, it really is why our women physicians are growing when it comes to their money and their wealth building, because we compel them to take action. We inspire them. There is accountability. Like they get coached, but we also pair them up so that there really is no excuse when your peer is like, girl, me too. I don't want to, but we're doing it. Right? And that's what it's about. And then the last but not the least is important. And it's you have to get more intimate with your numbers. You have to know your money more. And in fact, I've been sitting down and thinking about how we want to help you guys do that even better. We have the money school, like I mentioned. But I'm also thinking, love, for those of you guys that are like, you know what, Latifah, I love you. I want to learn from you, but I'm not ready yet to commit to that. I want to have opportunities for you to be able to know your numbers more and increase your intimacy. So just stay tuned. In 2024, we're going to be having challenges that I believe is going to be really like challenge events, not like challenges in life, challenge events, like money challenges, in order to be able to help you take actions and know your money more intimately. Because ultimately, if you know your money more intimately, you're going to know what you have, you know where the gap is, and then you'll be able to create results for yourself. I hope that makes sense. So that's what I have. I just literally told you guys like 6 power pack things that you can do to make, if you want 2024 to be your best year yet, I want you to commit to like 3 of this. Which one is it? Which one do you want to take? What's in number 1? What's in number 2, number 3, 4, 5, 6? Like commit to which one you want to do, because ultimately, here's what's happening, guys. Some of you guys listen to knowledge and you don't take action, right? And that just leads to constipation of knowledge. But what you need to do is, as you're learning this information, I want you to, before you even like move around and like do the next thing you have to do right now, commit to which one of these actions you're going to take, and then put that on your calendar. Okay, what am I going to do every Wednesday? I want to make sure that I'm looking at my numbers every Wednesday at like, 7:30 p.m. after my kids are in bed, or I'm going to do it at 5:30 a.m. Like literally, one of the women in my money school, one of the things she was having challenges with was she was feeling tired or fatigued when it came to decisions. And so what we decided was that that's because she was actually probably not making decisions, but thinking for so long that she thought she was tired of thinking, which she was tired of thinking, but she wasn't tired of making decisions. She was just not making decisions. So what we did for her was she got coached, and what we realized was when she scheduled like 30 minutes in the morning as decision hour, she gets to make all the decisions she needs, and she doesn't have to make any other decisions at any other time, which means that like if she's thinking about something she wants to make decisions about, and she finds that she's holding on to that decision making process for long, she just types it on her phone, because guess what, she has time on her calendar that is decision hour. So now all she has to do is like look at it, bring out the things she wants to make decisions about, and then just make decisions, and bam bam bam, knocks it out, makes decisions, moves on with her life. Because guys, the rate at which you make decisions is going to really impact how quickly and how well your wealth grows. If you ask anybody that that's successful, that is what it takes. They have to make decisions. But decisions means you have to learn to trust yourself. You have to learn to forgive yourself, and you have to learn to make imperfect decisions and move forward. So I'm excited for you guys. I cannot wait for 2024. It's going to be amazing. We have so much good stuff that we've planned in place. Like Team MoneyfitMD has been working hard in the background. And so just big shout out to my team, but also big shout out to you for staying tuned, for being here. I cannot wait, guys. We have so much good stuff we're going to do together in 2024. I love you. I appreciate you. I hope you have a fantastic holiday. And thank you so much for listening to me this year, for finding me. If you found me this year, for finding me this year. And again, I would love it if you can leave us a review. And I want to say thank you for leaving us a review in 2023. Love you. And maybe I'll do that bonus episode. But if I don't, then I'll see you in 2024. Goodbye.